So today I'm gonna talk about coronavirus, which is a flu virus that is originated from Wuhan, China. The virus is known first at the late of 2019 as a unknown virus that affected the respiratory system of human, and the first cases are reported in Hubei, which is located at Wuhan, China, and uh, the first cases that is known in Malaysia are at Johor Bahru are from a traveller that travelled back here from China, and the cases that are reported in Malaysia are relatively low. In early of March, the largest cluster that have been recorded in Malaysia is the tabligh cluster from the event of tabligh Jemaat in Sri Petaling, Kuala Lumpur. The prevention of the outbreak is overseen by the Director of Health from the Ministry of Health of Malaysia, who is Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah. Necessities that needed to fight this virus outbreak, and during the end of the March, MCO, which is Movement Control Order, have been announced by the Prime Minister of Malaysia, which restricts the movement of people from state to the states. And after a few months, the cases began to rise steadily, and the lockdown began to initiate, which is restrict people movement even in the states of their home. So COVID-19, for me, COVID-19 is a new virus, which is we cannot found the cure yet, but we know how to prevent it. So we must follow the regulation that have been provided by the World Health Organization, and who else that gonna be take care of ourselves besides us. So take care of ourselves, be safe, don't forget your hand sanitizer, and that's all. Bye.
The coronavirus pandemic has a lot of dark sides. Around the world, people are ill and dying. School closed and healthcare systems overloaded. Employees lose their job and country has to spend billions on medical aid on everyone. And whether everyone already heard or not, COVID-19 is a huge crisis and shaking up our psyche, triggering our fears and uncertainty. The bright side of COVID-19 here doesn't mean that the crisis provides extra business for companies like Zoom or GoToWebinar that enable the virtual meetings, or for Amazon, which is planning to hire another 100,000 employees. The latter is probably more a threat than the opportunity for most of people. It's easy to lose your hope and brood open the negative side effects as we're battling a global pandemic. For every low, there are high, and it's true that even this current scenario has silver lining to it. Here are 3 positive impacts on COVID-19 pandemic that we must look for. The first process of COVID-19 is helped you to build a genuine relationship. We all have been so busy living the life. Many of us lose the real genuine moment with the loved one. It could have been busy schedule running around and making ends meet and rushing to be urgent meeting. Sure, maybe we were lucky enough to go for a family vacation every now and then, but then didn't you dread those spending fast reading on your workstations? Now the COVID-19 has positively impacted you the way you emote and maintain relationship. You get to spend your time with your family and plan your work better. This actually helps you to build a better future for both of you and your family. As life slows down, we have found ways to stay connected with people, even it is virtually reconnected with your love and the respect. Secondly, the bright side of COVID-19 is that we get a cleaner environment. The virus caused the shutdown or dramatic decrease of industrial activities. Factories are closed and operate far below their capacity road traffic reduces radically, and air traffic collapses. And the lack of tourism has emptied the street in overcrowded cities like Venice, Amsterdam, and New York. While this may be bad news for most of people, and especially those working in the impacted industry, this is also good news for our planet. COVID-19 causes a significant reduction in greenhouse gases and other air, water, and land polluting outputs. In Venice, this has allegedly led to dolphin return a couple of weeks. Whether that particular example is a hoax or not, it's not so relevant. The fact is that the shutdown and lockdown of the large part of our economy is good for nature, at least on the short term. The opportunity this provides is to keep part of this in place also after the crisis to make a long-term improvement along the line of the previous opportunities. The current crisis provides us an opportunity to consider our life and reorganize it in a way that it has less impacted our planet. The bright side of COVID-19 also brings speed and innovation. More organizations suffer from slow procedure, complex bureaucracy, and rigid hierarchy, making organizational life less than pleasant. The coronavirus has forced many of them to break through this rigid system and act instantly. Suddenly, procedure can be skipped, accelerated rules can be sideswiped, and decisions can be made more autonomously without formal approval. And suddenly, employees are allowed to work from home without direct supervision. COVID-19 shows that as soon as there is a strong enough stimulus, things can change. This leads to remarkable innovation. Not being allowed to open the doors, a restaurant, for example, shifting to delivery mode, and schools suddenly do much of teaching and even some of the testing online. This brings the opportunity to create innovation now that can be maintained after the crisis, and it also can help to keep at the current speed and innovation mode afterwards. Every coin has two faces. With bad comes the good, and these are three positive impacts of the COVID-19 that I think will stick and become the norm. Countries everywhere are still fighting this pandemic, and we are sure are going to overcome this. We're a race of survivors, and we're going to win this too. I agree that the battle is hard and long, but let's look for it and focus on the brighter side for all we have through these difficult times. Are these and nothing else. Stay physically distant but socially connected. Please take care, be safe.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Khairun Najah Munira binti Muhammad Zubair, D 2018-2086703. I am semester 4 from Early Childhood Education. Now, I will talk about negative effect of COVID-19. The coronavirus disease 2019, also known as COVID-19, has led to a public emergency, economic depression, unemployment, and others. First, health. Health and medical system have taken their maximum effort, but the healthcare system itself is affected due to various conditions in nature. Thus, there are many deaths reported even though they have made an enormous effort. High rate of deaths due to various illnesses or complications are mainly affected by the elderly. 2. Economy. Many people lose their jobs, whether in the formal or informal sectors in Malaysia. This may lead to financial crises such as share market values and business, purchasing power, and supply chain in the network. This economic crisis is happening around the world and expected to happen in a very long time. As long as there are positive cases reported, the economic ecosystem will be disrupted. The International Labour Organization has predicted about 25 million workers lose their job in the world. Third, tourism and travel. Big businesses have not been spared either. Many hotels are now relied on the funded by the government. Workers in the hotel industry have been hit the most by this pandemic. All Malaysia Airlines have initiated the salary cut and give unpaid leave depending on the positions. It will undoubtedly have a domino effect on the supply chain. Number 4. Education. Other than economics, disruption of schools, universities, and vocational educations have to find some optional strategies to cover up their educational goals. Global homeschooling will surely produce motivational environment, but it unlikely will give every shilling that lost from school. Many universities and colleges were forced to make swift change to online teaching when MCO was imposed. But this comes with several challenges. First, not all students enjoy unlimited access of internet and data or possess laptops to attend their online class freely. Coverage and speed of internet also depending on one's budget and locations. These students run a high risk of left behind if the class are conducted fully in online. Last but not least, family problems. Those who have never experienced an unpaid leave from work will be shocked and frustrated. At first, they will feel happy because they have lots of free time, but slowly they will get bored and be burdened by the chores. MCO could make or break the family or relationships. These conditions may lead into personal conflicts or domestic violence in family. To those who are affected, I hope you will be strong and I know we can overcome this.
The COVID-19 pandemic has been part in our daily life since March 2020. So, what can we do to protect ourselves and our loved ones against COVID-19? Avoid 3C and practice 3W is a common statement that always been said to the community to be practiced as a new norm and habit. 3C stand for avoid crowded places, avoid confined space, and avoid close conversation. Meanwhile, 3W stand for wash, wear, and warn. Since close person-to-person direct contact remains the source of transmission, remaining social distancing is a key way to mitigate spread. MOH suggests maintaining distance of approximately 6 feet from others in public places. The distance will help you to avoid transmission of droplets that containing coronavirus caused from sneezing or coughing. Practicing good hygiene is an important habit that helps prevent the spread of COVID-19. Therefore, please make sure that you make this part of your routine. Firstly, make sure you always wash your hand with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after you have been in a public place or after you blow your nose, sneezing or cooking. Secondly, if you don't have a water and soap, please make sure that you use hand sanitizer. Pour the hand sanitizer on your hand and rub all them together until they feel dry. Face mask has become essential accessories in protecting yourself and others from COVID-19. However, face masks do not replace the social distancing recommendation. Face masks are designed to provide a barrier between your airways and the outside world. By wearing a face mask that covers your mouth and nose, you will reduce the risk of source of disease spread by trapping your own droplets in the mask, and also reduce the risk of getting sick via droplets that contain coronavirus by blocking your own airways. Lastly, please bear in mind the warning from MOH that has a more reminder concept, such as avoid shaking hands and touching, practice the correct ethics of sneezing and coughing, and immediate seek for treatment if you are symptomatic. Sit at home and avoid the practice of visiting.
소리야, 수학과 뭐 이런 거나. 야, 이게 좀 수석이 봐야겠다. 그죠?
Lastly, don't forget to perform disinfection and cleaning activities on the frequently touched areas. Taking these prevention strategies seriously is extremely important in preventing the transmission of COVID-19. Practicing good hygiene, following this guideline, and encouraging your friends and family to do the so will go a long way in preventing the spread of COVID-19.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Rusna binti Yahya. My matric number is D201820866697. The COVID-19 epidemic that hit Malaysia and the world has had a major impact on the country's political, economical, social, and education system. Following the pandemic, the Malaysian government has announced the implementation of the Movement Control Order (MCO) starting March 2020. During this recent outbreak of the novel coronavirus COVID-19, the government has issued a MCO Movement Control Order, which is an order that restricts all over the world as an attempt to stop the spread of the COVID-19. Most nations are observing the Movement Control Order (MCO) by staying at home to help curb the spread of COVID-19. There are many activities that you can do during MCO. You can also adopt these ideas as ways to spend quality time with your friends and family while staying at home, staying safe, and staying healthy. Let's see what we can do during MCO. To avoid getting stressed and bored during MCO by staying at home, you also can create many beneficial activities such as feeding fish. Planting a tree is one of the easiest ways to improve the environment and beautify your surrounding. Also can release your stress during MCO. You can also adopt these ideas as way to spend during MCO. Anyhow, it's always a good idea to spring clean every once in a while. Just make sure the roaches and spiders don't get too comfortable. Staying at home doesn't mean that you need to compromise on your fitness goal. Remember, health is important in all seriousness. Basic health routine don't require too much.